Today I'm driving my own 2013 F-150 to see if it lives up to the claim that a truck needs to be a do-everything vehicle. We'll test what it's like to drive, how fast it is, and in the end give it a fun to drive score. So what is this thing? What are the specs? This is my own 2013 F-150 XLT Super Cab with the 5-liter V8, the automatic transmission of course, the longest possible rear gear ratio, 331s, and it's my work truck. I've got enough room in here to seat 6 people. I can tow some stuff if I have to, and by and large, this is what carries me and my tools from job site to job site as I do my full-time job in construction. The V8 engine makes 360 horsepower and a fairly decent sound. Not bad, but she's a heavy girl. This is a boat of a truck, and the power to weight ratio is nothing to sneeze at. Trucks today aren't simply work vehicles that have to haul people and tools around. They're also more about luxury and tech and horsepower and bringing the family around. A truck nowadays can be as much a business and family vehicle as it is a work vehicle. So what's the intended purpose of this truck? Well, I would wager to say 10 years ago, trucks were still more oriented towards work than they were ultimate luxury and power and performance, more like they are today. And so this truck has to sort of split that difference between work and luxury. It's got a little space in the back for people, including little kids with car seats, but it also has a bigger bed than the full 4-door truck, the crew cab, because I've got a 6-foot bed here versus the 5-foot and change bed that you get with the full 4 doors. The design is very stereotypically truck. It's square, it's boxy, it's beefy. It's meant to look like it's got some presence on the road because it needs to have that sort of aura around it from all the F-Series trucks that have led up to this one. Ford's F-150 is the #1 best-selling vehicle of all time, not just the best-selling truck. So this thing has big shoes to fill. An issue that I have with the design of this truck too is the fact that even though having a couple extra doors in the back is convenient in a way, the problem is that they're, I think what people call like suicide doors. They're like scissor doors. Watch this. I've got this one open. And now to do anything in here, I've got this little space to operate. And because this car is far enough back, I've got room for this door to open. But imagine when it's this tight, because I can't hit the car next to me, this is all the room I've got to work with. So you've got to be putting a child in here, or you've got a big load of something that you've got to load up into your truck, and you've got this tiny area to work with. This would not be a problem if this rear door just opened like the front door does, because then I could be standing back here, open this up, get everybody in, shut the door. You're pinched in this little V-shaped window, and it's super annoying. I'm also convinced there's a big downside to this design in terms of rigidity because there's no B-pillar here, so I don't have any structural support between basically the front windshield and the back windshield. And so what that means is I've got this giant cavernous opening that doesn't have as much rigidity as a lot of other trucks might have. But whenever you're going over bumps or uneven pavement, it really shudders and shakes a lot. For the overall testing habitat in this truck, I've taken it everywhere. I've taken my wife on dates in it. I've taken my kids around. I've gone to numerous job sites all around the state of Arizona and California and even Nevada. This truck has been to Mexico. It's been all over the place. And in general, I've just tested the vehicle as my one and only sole daily driver for the last 9.5 years. Everything that I've needed to do with the vehicle has happened with this truck. I feel like when you drive a vehicle like this, that's either some commuter grade sedan or a utility vehicle or a truck, it's not impossible to drive it quickly. That's not really the question. The question is, what does it feel like when we drive? Are we getting feedback from all of our inputs? And is it doing the thing that we're asking it to do? Or is it fighting us along the way? We ask it to turn and it doesn't really want to do that. Or we ask it to go and it's hesitant to respond. That's really the assessment of, does this thing do what I want it to do? And this truck fights you all along the way. It never is willing and able and eager to do what you're asking of it. It pitches a fit. It's like an unruly toddler who doesn't want to go to bed. It's like a dog who doesn't want to go on a walk. It just pulls back and would rather be either parked or driving slowly in a straight line at a constant speed like I'm doing now. I'll hit the cruise control, and in this situation, the truck is totally happy. The gearbox is happy, everything is fine, it's in homeostasis. But when you ask for a change from a vehicle like this in direction and speed and anything else, that's where you really start to find out if it's oriented towards a driver or if it's just oriented towards functional utility. In every way, a vehicle like this is an appliance. It's a refrigerator. It's a shovel. It's something that gets the job done soullessly. No one writes home about how much they love their shovel, or even their refrigerator, or their washing machine. It's fine. Sometimes they have nice features, but we don't care about them in the same way that we care about other stuff. Sometimes I like to try and think about parallels between driving and like excellent food, because somehow that connects in my mind. And if this was food, it would be room temperature tap water and dry bread. It'll keep you alive, it does the job, but no one is excited to experience that. Doesn't sound bad though. The brakes are pretty soft and squidgy. Of course, I don't have any modifications to this truck in terms of brake pads or fluid or lines or anything like that, so maybe you could improve it. But from the factory, it's soft and squidgy. It also has a very large truck to stop on pretty small tires, so braking distances are not the best. But who would expect something this giant to be athletic? I'll bet a whale couldn't stop on a dime either. And I think it's funny that people end up being passionate about driving their truck, because to me, I've never been able to connect with a truck in the same way that you can with a sports car. It always feels separate, like you're operating it, like it's a tractor. Whenever I'm driving a backhoe or a front end loader or something else, I am requesting a movement from the machine. It does the movement. All of that is good, but it doesn't feel like an extension of my brain. Now, maybe if you're a really good operator on a tractor, you could, but I don't know that anybody feels that kind of connection with a truck. I think it's always intended to be other. And I just realized I missed my stop. Dang it. Here, watch, whenever I have to accelerate here, I'm in 6th gear, 70 miles an hour. If I step on it, I'll go down 3, maybe 4 gears to finally accelerate. Yeah, down to 3rd. It just takes a while. You've got to put in your request ahead of time, like at a nice restaurant. You've got to RSVP for acceleration in this thing. Now, what I typically do is use the buttons here on this little shift lever, and I'll press the minus to not allow it to be in 6th or 5th gear and force it to be in 4th or below, sometimes even 3rd, or like as I'm coming up to a stop now, I can force downshifts to sort of do some engine braking for me. And if you need any kind of responsiveness, you've got to drive in this mode where it's limited to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gear, because in any other mode, it's going to immediately upshift, and it's going to make you just be super lazy. This is a lazy truck. It's a recliner on wheels. It's a wheelbarrow with an engine. It's like trying to control a bit of livestock pulling a plow back in the day. Please, livestock, will you pull the plow for me in the direction that I want? The mule is a little unruly today. It doesn't feel like accelerating when you want. Let's go, mule. Yeah, yeah, mule. Yeah. Come on, let's go. It's fine. It's a mule. It's a tool, a mule tool. All right, let's test out this baby. Ready, set, go. Zero to 60 in 8.18. Not the fastest. That's probably about as fast as this truck is meant to be. Let's do one in manual mode just to see if that helps us any. Little brake stand. Ready, set, go. Oh, we shifted too late. And of course 60 comes in 2nd gear. I was a little late on the shift, and I don't think the launch was any better because of manual mode. It did not help us in particular. But let's see the results. 0 to 16, 8.61. It is in fact slower. Something that I find really interesting is comparing the original window sticker here to what it would cost to build this truck new today as a 2023 model with basically the same exact specs. As you can see on this original window sticker that I kept since day one, this truck didn't come with many options. XLT, extended cab, blue jeans metallic. The few options it has are basically the engine and nothing else. And then at the total here at the bottom, we can see that it was pretty reasonable back in the day, right at about $35,000. And now if I go into the Ford build and price configurator and I show what it costs to build almost the exact same identical truck with such similar features to the one that I've had for the last 10 years. And you basically just skip over all the options. Keep scrolling, scroll, 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 get all the way to the bottom. And this almost identical truck with the same 5-liter V8 engine is now $50,000. So in 10 years, the price of the truck has gone up 15 grand. That's about 33%. I'm glad that my next new vehicle will not be that expensive. Let's give my truck a fun to drive score. Now obviously you know that this is not the best driver's vehicle, so it's not going to do super well in the score, but let's see just how bad it gets. In the first category, it's all about inputs. Shifter feel, steering feel, pedal feel, all that good stuff, and it does really badly. When we total everything up here, the truck only gets 35 points, and it has a total score that it could have gotten of 100. We're not doing really well so far, but that was predictable. The one thing that it does the best in is integrity to what's promised. Honestly, I didn't expect a truck in 2013 to drive any differently than this one does, so it's right there doing what it's supposed to be doing. As far as the experience of actually operating the truck, it's not doing a whole lot better, but it does a little bit better. Interior quality is okay, shareability is quite good because it's actually a decent sized vehicle and it can fit some people, although it's not comfortable and everyone in the back is really crammed, it is possible to share it. And the value for money is really not bad. A 15 out of 20 is a pretty decent score because back in the day, that was a lot of truck for the money. And today it's even more truck for the money. If you can get that same truck for 35, that'd be awesome. Obviously it's 50 now. So our total for the input score is 35. Our total for the experience score is 33, which gives our baseline total of 68. And this is where we can give it a bonus. If it's interesting, if it gives us extra joy, and it gives us extra smiles per mile, we can give it a bonus here of up to 10%. But it doesn't do any of that. If anything, it's disenchanting, and so it gets an extra bonus of absolutely 0, which means its final score is only 40. As of right now, I've only officially reviewed the 2023 GR86 and this truck, but there's many more reviews coming soon to fill out this gap in between these two. And even the 86 didn't even get a 75. So if you've got a cool, interesting, fast, modified, or exotic car in the Phoenix area, or if you're gonna be in the Phoenix area and you're willing to let me borrow it for a few hours, then please fill out the form that's in the description so that we can get in contact with each other and I can make a review about your car. Look at that. That's a lot of rain. Let's go get it. Yo, yo. There is an epic storm, so let's get a cool picture of the truck. Oh boy, it's raining. Oh my gosh. We gotta hurry. Oh, buddy. Those are big drops. Oh yeah, looking good. Smile for the camera. Look at this guy as he drives by. Woo woo! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. You're getting it. There's a rental car, I hope. Epic. The light is so good. The truck is so dirty. Let's go. Hey, if this is the first video you've watched of mine, I appreciate you being here so much. This is literally my dream come true, to become an automotive journalist and to make videos like this for you for free. And so if you would do me one favor, I'm not above begging. I literally am begging you right now to please like this video and subscribe to my channel, to show automakers, to show people with access to really awesome vehicles, to show other brands that, hey, this guy knows what he's doing, he makes decent videos, people like them. Those are easy indications that will make that happen for me, and that will literally be my lifelong dream becoming reality just because you clicked a couple of buttons. So thank you so much for indulging my begging and for doing that for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Uh-oh, did I drop something? I feel like I heard something drop. No? Maybe? No. Okay, let's go. Camera's a little wet. It will live. Let's skedaddle. Oh, baby. I hear the thunder. We gotta outrun it. I also have to pee. It's trying to get me.